Hey, today we're talking about how to grow a Reiki business and what I think could be better in terms of Reiki teaching. Now, Reiki is a beautiful introduction to energy. I've been teaching since 1997 and I've seen firsthand exactly how powerful it can be for individuals and for those receiving it. But there's a common trap. And many people are told that after Reiki 2, they can suddenly start charging and make a living as a healer. And that's simply, in my experience, not how things happen. So let's explore it. Let's talk about it honestly, because it'll stop people getting disappointed and feeling like they failed in some way when they aren't actually able to make a living with Reiki. And I think the fact is they've just been overpromised. That's the real issue here. And by the way, 90% of people watching aren't subscribed to the channel right now. If you value hearing truth about spiritual business and development and not just hype, please do hit subscribe so we can get this message out to more people. Now, I've been a Reiki Master since 1995. I had my first spiritual awakening at the age of 3 with out-of-body experiences. I've had those throughout my life. In terms of Reiki, I've taught thousands of students. I've created one of the earliest Reiki schools in the UK in 1997. I wrote a book on the subject. And I know Reiki inside out. I did it full time for years. And the problem isn't Reiki itself. It's around the business promises that are made to Reiki students. They're told that if you pay for level 2, you can then go and heal others professionally. Now, first of all, that's not a spiritual law. It's not a man-made law. I promise you can go out and do healing directly after day 1 of Reiki 1. But the truth is that anyone can do that. The key is working with others is the challenge, and level 2 doesn't actually give you any more ability or powers than you have in Reiki 1. What it tends to give is more confidence. Now, that's valuable, but it's not the same as being fully prepared to work as a healer. And let's look at the overpromise that I see commonly online. So let's look at the business model and how it usually works in terms of Reiki. And it's all good, not a criticism, it's just how it works. Reiki 1 gives you a kind of bit of a taste. Reiki 2 dangles the idea of symbols and going professional for some people. Some people will never want to do healing, and that's cool. And level 3 master training promises a level of authority, of course, and the ability to teach other people. And with each step, generally the price goes up. That's the model. And the illusion is that you're climbing some kind of spiritual ladder that gives you better status. But the reality is, in terms of business, the people that make the most money in Reiki are the teachers. They're not the practitioners, which is totally fine, but it's so rarely said out loud that it's good to know if you want to make a living out of Reiki, that's really where you probably want to head. Because so many people come out of Reiki 2 believing that they're ready to build a full-time practice. They hit a wall because Reiki training rarely includes the skills that you need. You need to think about how to work in depth with clients, how to handle complex situations, and of course, how to run and market your Reiki school and your Reiki practice. And so often students feel like they've failed, when in reality, it's just that the system overpromised. Now, another truth doesn't often get spoken enough in my ideas, is that the people who actually need healing are often facing the hardest situations. And that is something that we have to accept. People who are drawn to healing are often sometimes dying. They have incurable illnesses, severe anxiety, or with long-term suffering. And that's the reality of healing work. That's often who are attracted to healers. And as Reiki healers and teachers, we have to ask ourselves, are we ready for that responsibility? Often, it's not about lighting a candle, placing your hand on somebody. It is sometimes. But it's often about holding a very deep space for people at their most vulnerable, painful and emotional moments. Now, many people who come to healing do have life-threatening illnesses. They have long-standing incurable illnesses. And the truth is, the good news is, I've seen miracles with healing. People wouldn't believe. But if you're thinking of going into healing, be aware that you're going to be challenged on all these different levels before you can create the success. And one note I will offer is that the best healing comes when the healer themselves are able to recognize that all illness is curable, which it is. Knowing that as the healer energetically opens up the door to the person who's to be healed, and also recognizing that ultimately the person heals themselves. The role of the healer is to help the person heal themselves and then learn how to create health for the future so they don't get ill again. And of course, that takes, in my experience, maturity, training, and also experience. So again, all illness is curable. That's totally amazing. But mostly a weekend certification doesn't really prepare anyone for working as a healer full time. That's my experience, and I think that needs to be just changed and challenged a little bit. Now, as I said, Reiki can be and is a beautiful part of anybody's journey when it's taught right, of course. It can expand your awareness of energy and experience of healing for yourself and other people. But if you want to make a living as a healer, then you definitely need more. You need to develop real skills, go deeper into understanding people, the psychology of how the mind and body are connected, how to handle challenging situations, and also face your own beliefs around money and self-worth. Often people come to healing not able to make a living because they simply don't think they deserve the money. Now, I know you can make a business out of it because I did it. And if you want to make a good income with Reiki, it's best to go into it with your eyes wide open. And that's what makes a good Reiki business in the real world. So my advice, if you are interested in becoming a healer or a Reiki healer full time, is get some experience as a healer and then start to teach. Because when you're doing healing, you get essential experiences that you then pass on to your students who come to you. And that's absolutely essential. So I do wish you all the best. If you are wanting to create a really good income from healing or any practice really, I created the SoulToSoul business training. It's a complete step-by-step program based on my 35 years experience on how to start and grow a holistic business the right way without the false promises. It really works. And the best part is that it's completely free inside my community. And the link's going to be download in the description. You can just take it, work your way through it, and then ask questions in the community. And that'll help you get set up properly. And do watch the video that's going to pop up here, which is all about spiritual awareness, kind of 3D reality, 5D reality, how you can use that to expand your awareness and grow your business. And I think you're going to love that. That's it. Have a great day. I wish you the best of luck. See you on the next one.